this biological robot comes back from the future, and it's the guy who helped start OpenAI, which
Oh
turned into
no.
ChatGTP. Hello, Internet. Welcome
Hello,
to
internet.
episode 262,
Damn.
where it gets real. You know what, Geoff?
What's up?
I sent you a message, and I was like, we're going to do like last week, and we're going to talk about fun stuff, and
Yeah.
then we're going to talk about politics. But you know what?
What?
I don't want
You
to talk
changed.
about politics.
Okay, you just want to talk about fun stuff
Yeah, I
today?
just want, because I was like so stressed out before this. I was like, oh, do we want to
Why?
talk about politics? And it's like, it's so polarizing. And I was like, we're probably going to lose listeners, and we barely have a handful to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
five minus zero is still five.
and like, I don't want to be constantly being like, Trump's a piece of shit, but he does some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that guy.
I, I was just thinking today, like, uh, fuck, I want to get elected to the White House so I can just every day write a new executive order. Like it's
Mm,
like a toddler discovered something like, oh, if I just don't say no, I can do whatever I want. Right? Like oh my God. Every day we're waking up to a new executive order. And I'm like, fuck, is that what politics is? It's like yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I digress.
Although I do kind of want to touch on
I sort of want to
the
like
USAID stuff.
sure, man. I want to write an executive director.
Do you want to
Executive
just
director.
get right into it?
You know what? Roll into it
Just
because I don't even know what
make us
USAID
liars.
is.
Okay.
USAID. That's great. That's such a
So
fucking
I don't even want to say the left or the right anymore, because it's like, who knows who? Because fucking RFK Jr. is gonna get like nominated to whatever, to Congress, on the fucking Republicans. Like 4
yeah.
months ago, a year ago, like I was like
If you don't like it, just
fucking
change sides.
boning hard up for RFK. Like
Yeah, lots of
he
people
was
were.
my guy,
Yeah,
because I heard him on Joe Rogan, and he was talking like, because he was like the Band-Aid ripper, because he's saying all this stuff about like science and how our health is so bad, or more the
yeah,
state's health is bad. And everybody's reaction kind of seemed like, yeah, he's kind of got a point, but we can't do that. Like,
yeah.
we can't stop eating fast food. What are we gonna do?
It's like a gajillion dollar industry. Like
Yeah.
you that would like it would tear a hole in the economy if you just gave
Hmm.
up fast food like that, right?
And like, I loved him even be like, thank God his voice sounds more normal than it did like 2 years ago, because it was like, I loved him, and I
Raspy.
was like, I can't listen to this guy. It's so hard, because it's like when you're like, it's like talking to someone who's they're out of breath, and you're like, come on.
Yeah,
But anyways, like he's been on Joe Rogan a bunch of times. Like, this is pre-politics.
right.
And the thing that made me like
Is it pre-politics
RFK
though?
Stan,
He's a Kennedy, so he's
yeah,
naturally in politics.
yeah. Well, he was like an environmental lawyer for like
Yeah.
however long. Like, I didn't even realize this, but remember that guy who sued Roundup, like the
Yes.
groundskeeper?
Yep. Yep.
RFK was his lawyer.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes
I
sense
didn't
then.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that. But so the thing that made me an RFK stan was when he was talking about like Roundup and
Mhm.
the glyphosates, and he was talking about how in 2004, when all this like gluten intolerance and
Yeah.
stuff started,
Yeah.
he was saying in 2004 they started spraying crops
Yeah.
right before they harvest them. They just
Yeah.
douse them with Roundup
Right.
so
To
that it
kill.
dries them out and hardens them
Yes.
up.
Makes it easier to like get. Yeah. Makes it easier to harvest everything.
And like, he just got that guy $269 million because
Yeah.
he got turbo cancer from
Yeah.
using Roundup on the grounds every day. So like, I'm convinced that's what gluten intolerance is. It's not gluten intolerance, it's just that they're
It's
spraying
chemicals in your food.
they're spraying the wheat with Roundup,
Right.
and
Yeah.
the glyphosates are killing us.
Oh, well, that's pleasant. Oh God.
And like he said that on Joe Rogan, I was like, oh my God, it makes too much
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. The
Like,
timing is too coincidental to be ignored.
and then I was like, you know what? This sounds like Dale's gonna fall for crazy talk, and then he's gonna like bring it up at parties, and people are gonna call him an idiot. So I was like, duck duck goat it. And then I was like, because what I always thought would happen was they sprayed Roundup so that the wheat would grow and weeds wouldn't. Like, I thought they
Right.
just sprayed Roundup at the beginning, and I thought that was it. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the rain falls on the weed, the wind brushes away the Roundup, but then they like spray it right at the end, so you for sure get it.
Yeah,
So I was
absolutely.
like, well, what did they do before 2004? And then I look it up, and they used to thresh wheat, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I know what that is.
Yeah, it's the
So
big
it's
sickle
basically
thing.
like they go massage our wheat like with this
Yeah.
big I'm thinking that this is what it is. Like it's funny because I grew up on a farm, but I actually don't know much about it.
It's the big wheel thing.
Yeah, with like the woods,
Yeah.
and then it like goes like it goes against the direction you're going. So if you're going this way, the wheel goes like this,
Yeah.
and then as it goes by, it just gently caresses the wheat and airs it out, and then it dries out naturally.
Right.
And they stopped doing that. And then I was
Well, because
like,
it's slower. They can't harvest enough
yeah.
to meet
And I
demand.
was like, and then I read like and the crazy thing was the thing I read about like them talking about stopping threshing and using Roundup was like a pro harvest like farm
If somebody was
science
like
post.
for
Yeah.
that, like,
They're
oh
like,
wow,
threshing's old news. That's what we used to do.
huh?
That's old. That's like
Old tech.
Amish
Yeah.
territory. We don't want to do that. We want to use this chemical and just fucking hose down our
Hose it
wheat.
down. Yeah.
And then I told my because me and my brother talk about politics every once in a while, and he thinks RFK is like a lunatic, like
Yeah.
pretty much everyone else I talk to. And I'm like, you guys don't understand about RFK. You just got to see the light.
And then yeah, then you get called a lunatic for
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's also because I'm predisposed to accepting wild ideas just from dabbling so much in the conspirasphere
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just being
It's
like,
there's
just,
like there's a saying in our house, Dale,
yeah.
that like I have to stop hanging out with Dale whenever I say something kind of
Yeah.
conspiracy theory based, and my wife's like, she gives me this look, and I'm like, yeah, that's the Dale talking.
She's like, that's too much truth, Geoff.
Yeah, that's yeah,
We got to go
yeah,
back into the matrix
yeah,
now.
totally. Yeah, if you could just stop being Dale for 5 minutes, that'd be good. I'm like, but it's this is what's happening.
But my dick looks so much better when it's this
Yeah,
big.
totally. Yeah, yeah. When I polish it with Roundup,
Yeah.
it looks way firmer and
It's like, babe,
purpler.
I know you don't want me to talk about conspiracies, but my dick grows when I do. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy the correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I forgot. I just like started gushing about RFK. Oh, and Tulsi Gabbard, I fucking love her too, because when she was on the left, she was like, because she's like served in the military. I just said like a whole bunch. Sorry about that.
That's all
She
right.
served in the military. She still is, I think. She's like a colonel or something. And the
I don't
first
know
time I ever heard
who
her
she
on Joe
is.
Rogan, again, Joe Rogan, this is where I get my worldview is from the not Joe
Oh
Rogan
my god.
himself, because he's kind of a simpleton, self-admittedly, of course. He's okay with it. But he always talks to like the smartest people. But he brought on Tulsi Gabbard and she's like, yeah, we got to stop these regime change wars. That's my main cause. That's what I'm against the most. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense
Yeah,
because that has done
she's a
nothing.
lieutenant colonel,
Yeah.
which I assume that sounds like an army rank. I don't know my military branches all that well, but I think that's an
It
army
doesn't
rank.
matter. She's in the medical department anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not like a frog woman. Are there frog women? Anyways.
I don't know.
So yeah, I
Probably.
love
There
her
was G.I.
too.
Jane.
Well, that's true.
That's
Yeah, so it's like the two politicians that I've actually loved from the States are RFK and Tulsi. So I was like, well, of course they're Democrats.
right.
They don't want to just make money and start wars. That's the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
And then they switched, and then the Democrats were like, surprise wars,
Oh my
surprise all
god.
wars.
Yeah.
And
All
then
wars all the time.
yeah, and then yeah, so I didn't want to get into politics, but
But here we
I totally
are.
forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so because
I
like
don't even remember either at this
I
point.
don't want to be a Republican. I hate them. I hate
Oh,
conservatives.
yeah, but now you're like
I spent
going
my
that direction.
I spent my whole life hating conservatives. No, because Trump just like the Gaza thing,
Yeah.
where like although if we want to talk about Gaza, because that's
I
the third
don't.
rail.
It is
If
the third
anything's gonna
rail. You
get us
don't
kicked
touch it.
off of YouTube, is
Oh
talking
my
about
god.
Gaza.
Yeah.
So let's not talk about Gaza.
Okay.
But although I kind of want to mention, okay, this is the part where I defend Trump. I know I said I wouldn't, and I'm
Do
not
you need me
saying
here for this?
that's a good point. I'm not saying his idea of the states going into Gaza is a good one, but I mean, the place is just
Can
like a
you?
fucking rubble with unexploded ordnance in the rubble. You
Yeah.
can't just let people live there. And you can't just give it to Israel because they're the ones who did all the bombing, but the states are the ones who gave them the bombs to drop. So my suggestion is I'm not so into sucking Trump's dick that I hate the EU yet or United Nations yet. I don't hate those guys yet. I say they do it. Don't let Israel, don't
They
let
who? The United Nations? You
United
said
Nations.
the EU and the United Nations.
I know, I
think
said
you
EU,
meant,
but I
right?
meant
You're
United
like the
Nations.
European Union go in and clean it up?
I was like,
weird.
EU, wait, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's Italy and France and England and
Not England anymore
oh, right.
because of Brexit.
Yeah.
So basically, ironically, if it was the EU, it would be Germany. And I don't Germany and France. And I don't even think we
like
would
Romania,
let that happen.
Yeah.
That would that is such an ironic move to let Germany like go into Gaza and clean it up. That
is pretty, that's pretty weird. Yeah.
It would be like when they started CERN in 2012 and everybody thought the world was going to end. That's what would actually happen if Germany went in to clean up Palestine.
So, you know how I was just saying a minute ago how like my wife gets on me, she's like, "Hey, stop being so Dale about this," or I'm having a Dale moment. So I was actually thinking about this in the shower. I'm like, maybe the Earth did stop at Y2K, and this is some weird ass timeline that everybody's dead and we're all in the Matrix now.
Oh, dude, it's so funny.
I don't believe anything anymore at all.
Oh, dude, but you shouldn't
about anything.
I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't believe anything.
Yeah,
because the USAID, it's not USAID, which is very misleading. It's USAID. I got to look up what that means.
Oh, I read it. It's the United States
Agency for International Diplomacy.
International Development. United States Agency for International Development.
Because you hear USAID and you're like, oh, that's the one where they give the money to the poor people, but it's not. It's basically the CIA. It's the fuckery commission. It's where they get
fuckery commission.
It's where they get all the money to do fuckery. And you know what you remember Project? We're just full on Dale Show conspiracy.
Oh my God, it's a day. Yeah,
I love it. I have a super big wild conspiracy after this, but okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
So you know how you said you can't trust anything, and a lot of people have lost all trust in fucking legacy media. I don't even want to say mainstream media because Joe Rogan is now the mainstream media.
Right.
But it's the legacy media because it's the media that was mainstream before. But I'm going to where the fuck was it? So USAID gave, where was it? I was talking to Derek about it on text. He's like, I don't care, Dale. I'm ignoring politics. What? Sorry, I missed what you said. Did you pause? Geoff just paused mid. I think I just Dale momented Geoff right out of the podcast. Okay. So the USAID.
Okay, it froze for a second. There was good timing. I've no.
Yeah, you keep freezing. This is sweet podcast. Is that my internet or yours?
Yep.
Yours?
Yeah, I think it's me. Sorry. Okay. I don't know what's going on.
I got full bars.
Yeah, I have full bars, but it's like maybe my son fired up the Switch or something. He's about to play some Fortnite. It just drains everything.
He's downloading Poron.
He's still,
I'm if I remember, I'll edit that out and people won't. So anyways, if there was like a snippet there, I edited out Geoff's losing internet because his son was playing video games, which is admirable that he's not downloading porn at his age and he's instead playing video games, which save the kids, give them video games, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So I missed all of that. You said something that you were talking to Derek on text about something.
Oh yeah, I was texting Derek about the USAID. I was like, dude, did you hear about all this stuff? Because that's just like, I don't talk to my friends for days, and then I'm just like, dude, did you hear about all this stuff? And then like,
that's accurate.
His response was basically like, no, I'm actively ignoring everything political. And I was like, that's probably a good point, and I should too. But
that's been my strategy for a while. Like, this is the only time I talk about politics.
The one thing I wanted to say about USAID is I'm all for it because this is like the church commission in the 70s.
Why don't you is there like a way to do some background on this? Because like, just pretend I don't know anything. Yeah, pretend I don't know what it is. So what is
I will pull up
They literally, the flag for USAID is literally US in blue and aid in red.
Uh, okay,
What
here I'm
is
just
this?
pulling up the
Tell
article.
me what is, I don't know what this even is. Documents
Um,
show how USAID funded ridiculous projects.
okay,
Elon
so
Musk reacts. I already tuned out
okay, so
because I don't give a fuck what that idiot who is not a politician, who is somehow controlling the United States,
okay, I
does.
do have to.
So tell me
Geoff,
what this is.
don't make me defend Trump, but one of the reasons Trump got elected by popular vote was because he said he was going to start uh he was going to start Doge and Elon Musk was going to start. That was before he got elected. So even though Elon Musk didn't get elected, Donald Trump got elected.
He was
And one
appointed.
of his promises was that Elon was going to go through government and clean it up. So I
Whoa.
know we all want to fucking trip over our dicks, how much we hate
Oh, I can't
Elon.
trip over my dick. It's only this big.
We all hate Elon. I've said it from the start. All he wants to do is make money, but he keeps accidentally saving the world by accident. Gave
No,
us
I
electric
disagree.
cars,
I
gave
disagree.
us internet
That is
everywhere.
not saving the world. It's actually fucking killing the world.
Okay, anyways,
Gasoline forever. Let's go.
he rescued he rescues astronauts just because he wants
No,
to prove a point.
no.
Bombardier can't build fucking spaceships anymore, so Elon and Starlink or SpaceX just have to go to the International Space Station and get the astronauts because no one else can. And that's all because he wanted the government contracts, but he still goes and gets them. Like or was it wasn't Bombardier? That's a Canadian company. It was
Yeah, that's
Halliburton.
oh.
Was it Halliburton that builds?
Halliburton's a contracting company.
Is that the one that
They
builds
don't
the
build
rockets for the
spaceships. No,
States?
I don't think
Who
so.
does?
Halliburton's like a security company.
There's Halliburton, Bombardier. What's the one that Boeing? No,
Boeing. No, Boeing is aerospace.
I think they build spaceships too. Oh my god. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Elon Musk is the one who had to go set. So what happened was USAID is, like we said, it's the
Lockheed
United States
Martin,
Agency for
Raytheon,
International
Max.
Development. What's that?
Lockheed Martin makes space stuff. Northrop Grumman makes space things. Raytheon, Maxar Space.
And one of the
Thaliacine,
problems,
Invap. Yeah, Boeing actually does.
okay,
Boeing makes satellites. They're integrated space and security department.
okay. So one of the big problems with this whole USAID thing is everybody like Geoff hates Elon Musk because he like makes Nazi salutes just to troll people. He is like obnoxious to talk about. He like lies about playing video games. And he's like Derek hated him too. And I've always just been like agnostic. It's like if somebody does something good, I'm like, hey, they did something good. If they do something bad, I'm like, hey, they did something bad. And I try not, besides our like after I just spend 10 minutes sucking RK's dick, I'm like, I try not to like or hate people.
So
I'm just a
it,
walking
it's not even
hypocrisy over
hate.
here.
No, I know. And it's, yeah. And again, it's hard to like, he like literally just come out and Elon Musk apologize about the Nazi salute. So he admitted he actually did it as a Nazi salute.
Oh,
So
did he?
he didn't do it to troll. There was a thing today where he like came out and apologized for it.
No, he couldn't be like, I did it on purpose to troll because nobody would accept that. He couldn't be
Yeah,
like,
so then that's your opinion of him trolling it. So he's not actually, he actually did do a Nazi salute.
oh
I think
yeah,
we can all
I
agree
said
on
it
that.
last episode. He
Yeah,
100% did it on purpose because he did it to the crowd,
I know I got
and they
stuck on
turned
that one, but
around
I'm
and he
just
did
like
it. He
needed to
did it to where the
clarify.
giant swastika is supposed to be. But
Yeah.
my whole thing was we got in an argument about this. That's why I didn't want to talk about it.
I know.
But the whole reason he did it, to what I'm interpreting is he did it because the fucking left through the whole election, like when Trump had that rally at MSG, everybody's like, this is the biggest Nazi conference ever. And it's like, okay, guys, can you stop just calling everything Trump does Nazism? Because then people like Musk will just do Nazi shit on purpose to piss you off and it will work. And then we won't be able,
All
like,
right, let's get back to the
okay,
original story because this is exactly last week's episode
yeah, it
again.
is. It
That's
is.
word for word. You're like quoting verbatim exactly what you said at this point in the podcast last week.
Yeah.
So back to USA. Yeah, let's just both agree that Musk is a Nazi. On to the next subject.
Okay.
Let's go.
I don't think he's a Nazi.
I tried to sneak that one in there.
I know. Okay. I think that they're like, if there are Nazis in this world, they're in secret. They would never do that in public if they were
Okay.
for real.
Regardless. Okay.
So USAID has been like,
Yeah, tell me about
what
this.
people know about it.
I don't even know what this thing is.
Okay.
I don't have
what
any
people
idea.
have been thinking about it, like the average layman, what I used to think, if I would have heard USAID or because they call it USAID,
Yeah.
I would have thought that that's just where the foreign aid goes to. I would have thought, and it's like, it's the other tricky part is it's not part of the government. It's a private contracted thing. So a lot of people are saying Elon Musk went into USAID, and they're like, he went into like the part of the government that's in charge of sending out foreign money. And it's not, because it's just a subcontracted part of the government, and they have a $50 billion a year budget. So Elon Musk is like, okay,
where does that money come from?
the taxpayer.
Yeah, but okay.
Like this is just welfare for rich people.
Right.
And so Elon Musk, he's like, there's fuckery, guys. And everybody's like, no, there isn't, Elon. And Elon's like, I'm going to prove it. Because it's like once he gets a bug in his ass, he just like has to prove a point. And it's weird because he's almost like a robot from the future, which is my conspiracy I want to get into after this. God. So it's like he gets a bug in his ass because people told him he's wrong. So he has to go out of his way to prove that he's right. And in this point, it's just advantageous for everyone because he's like going out of his way to prove that there's corruption. So the article I put was, okay, so anyways, what happened was Elon goes into USAID and he's like, show me all the files. And they're like, we're not fucking showing you the files. You're not part of the government. And then he's like, Trump said I could, basically. And then they're like, they called Trump and they're like, did you say Elon could do this? And Trump's like, yeah, you guys are a private organization. You're not protected by the government. You're not part of the government. So he goes, and then the main guy who was like, and then he also goes into the Treasury Board, which it's confusing because the way people talk about it, they talk about like, I don't know if he's in the Treasury Board of USAID or the Treasury Board or whatever, but basically Elon Musk goes to the guts of the building and he's like, show me where the fuck the money's going. And they're like, we're not showing you that. And he's like I just said, and he's like, yeah. And then the guy who was in charge of where the money goes, he resigned and he'd been there since the 80s. And these fucking and like everybody's like worried because all these computers that like basically run where all the money goes out of are like running on code that's like 50 years old because Congress never updated the software and stuff. So what the short story is, sorry, I gotta take a drink. All this talking about Elon.
It makes you thirsty. Yeah. I'm baffled by this whole thing because I don't even understand what this department or what this thing
and
is.
That's the thing, is like that's part of the whole conspiracy is they keep it so you don't know. Like you said, the flag says US in blue and then aid in red.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's just USAID. And you're like, all right. And then they like help give people and like all the left-wing people, they're like, because what happened was Trump stopped foreign aid so he could figure out where everything was going. But I think that was separate than this. See, this is another reason why I didn't want to get too much into politics, because it makes me feel like a dum-dum because I didn't do enough homework, because that's not my day job, is to research this stuff. So anyways, the layman's term is Elon Musk goes in and he has like, I gotta edit this part out. Sorry, Geoff. Just give me a sec.
You okay?
I was just talking too much. I got dry. Usually you talk and then I drink, but
I don't have anything to say. This is fucking bonkers.
Just hold my hands up so I know where to edit. Sorry if it seems like I'm talking in circles, because I'm actively trying to also figure it out for myself and make sure I'm like not getting it wrong, but I probably got it wrong.
I'm reading the article about
so hit me up in the comments.
So I'm reading the article about this that you sent over, and the list of funds that the USAID has been funding
Yeah.
is for things
Wait,
that
wait, wait,
include
wait, 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 wait. Let me
waiting.
explain
Okay.
it first.
All right.
Okay. So what Jeff's talking about is I had an article that I sent him that shows all the fuckery that Elon Musk has found in USAID. So
What I
what
want
they
to clarify though is the fuckery and what the fuckery means to some other pieces that are happening in the news.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Before we get into the fuckery and everything, the reason Elon Musk was able to find out where all the money was going was because there was this huge shell game going on where they would send it one place and then would like bing bong to a bunch of different people. But Elon Musk and these like six Doogie Howser boy geniuses, they're like age 19 to 22. And it's like it's another weird thing. It's like, is this a comic book? It's Elon Musk and six like not even fully grown adults. I mean, I guess they're adults because they're over 18, but
Epstein Island candidates.
yeah. So they go in and they use AI to like track, like basically spider trace where everything is going. Because like if you just look at this like computer with 60-year-old code, it'll just say money went to this place. And then that's it. So they like, I guess they figured out through AI, which you'd have to like be a smarter person than me to explain how this happened. So they found all this where a lot of the money went. And like this is from a couple days ago, this article, and they're still going through it right now. So, and I do want to say some of what USAID is paying for is legit, which of course, like you can't just have all rot. There has to be some good to like help you launder your money and cover your tracks. But like what I was telling Geoff earlier was because like before I started explaining this, Geoff said, before Geoff froze, he said, I don't really trust anybody. And I was like, there's a reason for that. And that's because USAID last year, or for this year coming up, the foreign budget from USAID includes $268 million to pay to journalists around the world. So basically every legacy media journalist is on their payroll. And that's why you don't see them like, that's why you'll see those snippets on like TikTok where they'll have like 5 different local news videos of them all saying the exact same thing. It's because they get paid.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
The main highlight of this article
Yeah.
is that it's not paying journalists in the US.
Mm-hmm.
US taxpayer funded program teaches Sri Lankan journalists to state pronouns and avoid binary gendered language.
Well,
so that's what this is just one of the things that the aid is going to. You're sort of misrepresenting the point.
No, Geoff, that's not the point.
There's a whole
Geoff.
column right here.
Yeah.
In the article, there's a whole paragraph showing where the funds are going to.
Yeah, but this isn't the only place the funds are going to. This is just one article.
This is like this one article where it's showing this block of things. And in the block of things are the things that Trump and his administration are actively going against.
Yeah.
Right. The quote unquote DEI principles. So
okay, but
Geoff, let me read this paragraph.
No, you just keep. Okay,
just hold on. You have to let me. Okay, I haven't said shit all. I haven't said shit all in this one.
Okay, go.
I haven't said anything today in all of this.
Okay, I just want to say.
And I just want. Okay.
No, go, Geoff. Sorry, I didn't want to piss you off.
Again, I'm going to ask one more time because we're 35 minutes into this.
Are we 35 minutes in?
Do I need to be here? Because I
haven't
said anything.
Sorry, Geoff. Okay,
I haven't said anything in half an hour, and the one thing, and you're like totally not saying the like exactly what is in this article. You're talking about something completely different. So
okay.
So what do we do with this?
Sorry, I just wanted to say that the 268 million wasn't from this article. It was somewhere else.
Right.
So that's all I wanted to say. So this Sri Lankan piece was a part of that 268 million.
Right. There's a sum here. I would have to do the math. I can't do it really quickly because I'm not a mathemologist, right?
But mathemologist.
You have there's this let me just read this one sentence.
Okay.
And then you tell me.
I'm trying to find the sentence.
If I'm crazy. The funds include $7.9 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language, $2
Mhm.
million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala, $1.1 million to Armenian LGBT group, 1.5 million to promote LGBT activity in Jamaica, 2 million to promote LGBT equity through or equality through entrepreneurship in Latin America, 3.9 million for LGBT causes in the Western Balkans, 5.5 million for LGBT activism in Uganda, $6 million for advancing LGBTQ issues in priority countries around the world, and 6.3 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa. So he's not paying journalists. Elon Musk is going in here to root this shit out, to not pay for these things to happen, because this goes against what Trump's executive order to make only two genders is.
No. Okay.
Yes, that's
So,
fucking literally what is happening in here. It's one part of it. I get that it's one part of it and it's only a
mhm.
certain section of it, but I just need you to see that there are two sides to this. Elon Musk
Yeah.
is not saving the world. Elon Musk is outing funding going to actively creating a better world for people and
Yes.
including other people, and cutting that funding so that they don't have that.
Okay, but for me, I don't see 7.9 million to teach Sri Lanka journalists to avoid binary gendered language as a worthwhile investment. And I'm sorry, the reason I
That,
sent you this
yeah,
article was because the only people I could find that actually wrote an article about this, that because I wanted to like some legitimacy, because I
yeah,
was just seeing Twitter feeds and stuff on this, and I didn't want to like send you the WikiLeaks feed. This is
yeah,
NDT World. This is obviously a super right wing thing. I just kind of like wanted to send you this as like what is going on with the USAID, and I
yeah.
apologize
No, there's a bunch of other
because it
stuff
is
in there too.
sensationalized to pick out
Yeah,
what they would think is the most egregious ones.
there's also 4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
And then like 25 million for Deloitte to promote green transportation specifically in Georgia. So I see the point there. Why would you
Yeah.
need $25 million to give to Deloitte to promote green transportation in a very specific state that wouldn't require that much money to do that? I understand that
Mhm.
the money being sent is out of whack with
Yeah.
the requirement that would be there for that program,
And the other thing that's
right?
annoying about this article is it's giving you all these dumb examples and the payments are so small. Like I said, 7.9 million for the Sri Lanka thing.
Yeah,
Like
but then
that's
there's
so
it's
tiny in the
in
grand
comparison
scheme
to
of
the
everything.
in comparison to when you're considering billions and you're considering 7.9
Mhm.
million, it's
Because there's
right
another
completely different.
one where they spent 615 million to the Tel Aviv University in
Yeah.
2022.
Yes. Yeah.
So the annoying thing about this is like I couldn't just like sit down and look through what Elon like, because it's annoying because we get these through filters, and since like legacy media doesn't want to talk about this because obviously they don't want to point out all the gendered stuff and all the DEI stuff because they're on team DEI and the right wing is on against team DEI. And so it's like we're only going to get one weighted version of this. And I should have probably not sent you this article because I saw NDTV World as the like website, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's probably right
Yeah.
wing, but I kind of just wanted to get it to you. And so my whole point was not that we should burn down the government because they wanted to like send 1.5 million to Jamaica for LGBT advocacy, which is fine. Like to me, 1.5 million in the grand scheme of thing is peanuts.
Yeah, well, I mean that's like opening an office somewhere and
Yeah,
staffing it, right? Like that 1.5 is nothing, right?
that's basically a Kinko's card to go print your
Yeah,
zine.
yeah, exactly, right?
And like, yeah, I didn't want this to get heated, but
No,
I just wanted to like,
I'm not heated. I just
no,
needed to be clear on like
oh
what
no,
we're
yeah,
talking about, right?
yeah,
And I like again, we're back to like you say things and I'm
yeah.
like, why are you fucking saying that? Elon Musk is not saving the world. He's fucking shit up actively for his own benefit,
Yeah,
right? So like that's all. I just like I have a struggle getting to some of the places where
yeah.
you're at with this. That's all.
Well, the way I see him as saving the world is the States is crumbling, like it's rotting from the inside out, and they're sending all this money abroad. And like 50 billion, even though it seems like it's almost too big to like fully comprehend,
Yeah,
because
it's a massive number.
it's
Yeah.
more than and that's a year. So they're
Well,
taking 50 billion a year from the American taxpayers instead of fixing their health system and their schools and their this and their that.
yeah,
And it's like, it's almost like you don't want to criticize it too much, because one of the things was they spent like $32,000 to help fund a trans comic book in Peru. And it's like, yeah, who gives a fuck? It's 32 grand. Do
yeah,
that. Fun. Let some kids in Peru or adults, whoever it is, start like write a comic book. And then the other one, and like it's like I was explaining before, it's so annoying because they only point out the LGBTQ stuff
yeah,
and the drags, like because they had like some drag shows in like somewhere else. But then like there's actual stuff like that they paid 50 million to the Wuhan lab.
yeah.
So it turns out that they actually funded the lab that
They're
made
funding
COVID,
COVID. Yeah, they
and then
effectively
they
funded COVID.
denied that the COVID came from that lab. So they're
Yeah.
kind of like this snake that's like sucking its, I want to say the snake that's eating its own tail, but that's, but
Not
like
really what
that,
it's doing. Yeah. It's the
but in
kangaroo
just,
jerking off in the background of an interview in
yeah,
Australia. Yeah.
it's like a snake giving itself money.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we could move on from this because, oh, do you want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Yes, because you the robot one?
Yeah. Okay. Did
Okay.
we talk about USAID enough?
Oh, too much.
Okay.
Definitely too much.
I'm sorry I
I
talked
still
at you
don't
for a
even
half
know what
hour.
it I don't even actually know what it is still. Like it
Yeah.
looks like it's a government, not a non-governmental organ, an NGO
Yeah.
that
Well,
is funding things, but it's like the biggest, it's arguably the largest
yeah.
funding platform. I don't even know what the fuck to call this thing.
See, the thing I don't get about
Charity bank?
NGOs, do private contractors count as NGOs, or
No, I
like
don't think so. I think
NGOs?
an NGO is like a specific thing. I think I fucked
Yeah.
that up when I said it.
I
I
think
just,
NGOs are like charity, aren't they?
yeah. So this,
Oh, all the funding for the NGOs comes from this, is another
yeah,
thing too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Fuck. I still don't know what this thing is.
Yeah.
I
It's
still don't
hard
know like what it
because
is.
I don't know exactly what it is. I just know that it's like, I didn't want to get too into the conspiracy side of it,
Yeah,
but Jimmy Dore is a guy who I trust implicitly because I've never caught him lying. Like every other like conspiracy theorist I listen to, every once in a while you hear something, you're like, I don't think you believe that. But Jimmy Dore always says what he believes is true. And he was saying that this is basically how the CIA funds all their interactions with the world. And it's like all the stuff we said, like the 7.9 million for to avoid gendered
yeah.
speech. The thing is, was like, did they actually get that money to do that? Or is that just what's written down on
Right.
paper?
Yeah. Is that just what's written down on paper? Is that not? Yeah. Is that
And it
did
just
that
like
money actually
went to
go
child
and
soldiers in Sri Lanka to do the
bought weapons or
CIA's
whatever?
bidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like Jimmy Dore was
Yeah.
saying,
You don't know if it's actually earmarked for the thing that it
yeah,
actually is stating that it is.
because there was one, fuck, I can't remember what exactly it was, where it said that it was like 19 million or something was supposed to go to this thing, and it just
Yeah.
ended up at Al Qaeda. I don't know why I could say that, but like that's the other thing too. Like it's so hard to like track down which ones of these are this, because
Who's
like
Jimmy Dore? Is he?
he's a stand-up comedian,
Oh, he's a
conspiracy guy.
comedian. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and
I don't
he
know who
has
this
like
guy
a
is
news
either.
show, but
Yeah.
he's really good at breaking down like videos. Like he'll talk about stuff, and then he'll come
Yeah.
up with like, and he always goes after Bill Gates. But he was saying that this is basically how the CIA gets their funding.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, or
So I
how
could
this,
see that if it's mislabeled funds that are sort of generic and weird and don't make any sense, and
yeah,
it's like way too much money to go to a certain specific area or a certain specific thing,
mm-hmm,
then what is that money actually being used for? That's just what it says it is. And like you were saying earlier, the payment gets sent, but it hits different areas. Or is that what
Yeah.
Elon Musk's Doogie Howsers found out? Was that it
Yeah.
pings, it goes elsewhere.
And it's like who's taking a pinch at
Yeah,
each spot that
right.
it
Is it the
bounces
same
off of?
amount of money at the end of that line as it
Yeah.
was when it left?
And like, what's Tel Aviv doing with like $600 million, like the university in one
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
That's a lot of money for a
Well,
university, isn't it?
no, not really. For there's fundings and grants and payments
That's true.
and faculty, and like it depends on the size of the university too, right?
But I guess the other thing too is like 615 million or whatever I said it was. I mean, I guess they probably do give the universities in the States money too. So
Oh,
it's
I'm sure
not
they do.
like
Yeah,
they're taking away. So yeah.
but 600 million is a pretty large chunk of cash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the 50 billion, that's so much money.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it said the 2023 financial year was 40 billion, so I guess 50 billion is not too far off the mark. What's another 10 fucking billion over 2
Well, I
years?
think it went up to 50 billion
Yeah.
this year.
Okay.
Um, yeah, sorry if I didn't explain what the USAID is enough because it's all murky.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I mean,
oh yeah,
even
sorry.
that, no, even the Wikipedia entry for it is a little fucking like it's a little weird. It's just it doesn't
Yeah.
even really say what it does. I don't even know how to explain this. I feel like I'm a clown in a clown car right now.
That's what I felt like when I was like trying to explain it to you. I was like, I'm dumb. You're saying dumb things.
Yeah, this is
Stop
like
talking.
the third time this week I felt dumb talking to people. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb now. Who knows? I guess that might
Jeff,
be
you
the end of
never
it.
have to feel dumb talking to me.
It's too late, man. I feel dumb talking to everybody now.
Yeah.
I got yesterday. I went out for lunch with some other marketers, and I now like am concerned about how many peanuts I've eaten lifetime and how much peanut butter I've consumed. Apparently,
Why?
peanuts grow in basically any soil,
Yeah.
and so they plant peanuts in whatever the cheapest possible land is that they can buy.
No.
So land with like fucking old gas stations or whatever, or garbage
No.
dumps, whatever the land is the cheapest, they grow because peanuts are super resilient. So you're eating whatever is in, and like unless you have a bespoke boutique peanut
Bro,
harvesting area in soil. This is a great one for you. This is a good
bro,
one
I
for you to
eat
start
a
looking
peanut
up.
butter and jam sandwich every
Dude,
day.
I eat a peanut.
Every day.
I've eaten peanut butter, 2 pieces of peanut butter toast and a pile of Greek yogurt every day of my life for like the last fucking 35 years.
Yeah, dude, my sandwich, because I used to
Yeah.
make like chicken and
So
salsa
it,
sandwiches, but I switched
yeah,
to peanut butter and jam because it's easiest.
yeah,
And I've been doing that for at least 10 years
yeah,
straight.
man. So yeah, so now I'm terrified of peanuts, but also oh fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. There was a second part to that. There was the peanuts thing, which was like I was off track completely. What were we talking about just before this? Holy shit,
You
Jeff.
how you
Come on, get
felt
it
dumb
together.
talking to other
Oh yeah,
marketers?
yeah, yeah. I just like and when you hear people talk about stuff, so the peanuts thing was one thing. I had no idea. I've just been eating peanut butter and peanuts for my entire life. And I'm just like now I looked at it this morning and I was like, oh God, I can't eat this.
Oh, no.
And then just in general, like talking to other people and feeling like, fuck, did I just miss an entire like was there a spot there I should have fucking learned more things? I don't know. Like I feel like I've missed an entire swath of learning or something. I don't know. That's a stupid thing to say. But
Yeah,
anyway, I
no,
felt dumb a couple of times talking to people. I don't know enough. I don't know enough. I'm not keyed in. I'm not connected. And like I don't know enough about anything. And there's more information than I can process coming in at me constantly.
oh yeah, dude.
Work in life, in media, in doing this. There's more information I can possibly process. And I'm trying to learn and
Hmm.
stay relevant and stay connected to everything. And I fucking can't, Dale. I can't. So
Oh,
I
dude,
understand it when people are like, no, I'm going to turn all this off. I'm going to stop listening to the news. I'm going to stop listening to everything. I'm just going to fucking play with my house. I don't know, play with my cat.
that's probably will do you way better. I feel the same way because I got addicted to
Yeah.
politic podcasts, because I started listening to Counterpoints and Breaking Points and Jimmy Dore, like I said, and this
Yeah.
guy Dave Smith. So now I'm listening to like hours of American political podcasts every day,
It's gonna
and I'm
ruin you.
missing out on
You're gonna
all
go
my
crazy.
conspiracy knowledge.
Yeah, your conspiracy side of your brain is gonna get weak now. And you're
Yeah,
gonna
like
yeah.
I'm gonna forget about the Tartarian Empire.
Oh my god, you can forget about the Tartarian
No, I
Empire.
can't. It's so sexy.
You read about peanuts tonight, you'll fucking
No,
lose your
I
shit.
can't.
I can't. I
I'm
know.
I'm sorry, Geoff. You told me this is very helpful information, but after RFK Jr.'s fucking glyphosate on the wheat, I can't handle another crop spoiled for me. I need to eat my peanut
You can't.
butter.
Don't take my fucking peanuts. Yeah, totally. They
I am
took my
going to
wheat.
actively tell my brain to forget this knowledge so that I can rot away from the inside in peace.
Fucking- it's so funny, man, because like that conversation I had with these guys yesterday about the
Mhm.
peanuts, it brought me back to like 10 years ago. My doctor was like, "Why are you eating peanut butter? You know, peanuts are a carcinogen." And I was like, "Ah,
Are
whatever."
they?
They are. They're a fucking carcinogen. They're like smoking. I'm like, I can't stop peanut butter. You can't make me.
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway,
What?
yeah, this got dark. I'm sorry. You can't. I know.
Why am
So
I just hearing about this now?
start reading about peanuts, and then we can do an entire Dale Show
Oh my
episode
God.
on peanuts.
I don't even know if I want to.
I know it's fucking scary. I
What
just
about
like
almond butter?
almonds are fine apparently because almonds aren't harvested the same way. Almonds are like anytime there's other nuts like almond butter, and I think there's another one that's a ground nut as well. It's similar. And cashew
Cashew?
butter. Cashews are only grown in like certain soil, and almonds can only grow in certain locations. So it's
Okay.
like peanuts can grow fucking anywhere. You can plant a peanut bush anywhere. You can't plant like an almond. Almonds only grow in certain areas where the soil has to be correct.
Talk me into it. I'm buying almond butter from now on.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, so the
It's
thing is,
$16 a tub.
it's $16 for like a kilogram, and it's like, yeah, and peanut butter is like $8 for 2 kilograms. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, Jesus Christ. So, but then that's why peanuts are like, that's why there's so many peanuts. That's why they're so cheap because you can get them, they'll grow fucking anywhere.
Like I thought I was being a good boy because I was eating natural peanut butter.
That's I switched to natural peanut butter too. Apparently, it doesn't matter. Eat the fucking craft stuff because it's got like it's filled with sugar and
It's got icing sugar, like
yeah.
canola
So just
oil.
eat that because it'll like at least there's less
Dilute
peanuts
the
in it.
carcinogens.
Fuck, I gotta throw away all my peanut butter now. And
Oh my God.
I
I
love peanut butter so much.
and everything. My favorite flavor is peanut butter, like peanut butter
Yeah.
and chocolate. Like I
See?
get Laura bars that are peanut butter.
There you go. So yeah, it's ruined forever. Yeah, you'll never eat
That's
trail mix again. You just fuck.
that's probably why people like a peanut allergy just erupted. I'm like,
Right?
you know how boomers are like, nobody was allergic to my peanuts. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
because they were
you
grown in
fucking
proper soil conditions and they were
yeah,
harvested in limited batches.
you didn't grow them in toxic waste dumps
Yeah.
like they do now because the boomers wanted to make more money.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So did I just create a whole new thing for you to
You
do?
ruined my life.
Sorry,
Just
man.
kidding.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to ruin lives.
I feel bad that we like 2 weeks in a row we were talking about American politics when we didn't want to, and then we like, I don't like it. We should stop talking about it.
It's well, I mean, it's frustrating, right? And we have
Yeah.
clearly different opinions on it, and like,
Mhm.
and it's hard. Again, like I said, I can't keep up with everything.
Oh
I
yeah, no
can't.
doubt.
What was it like? There was a stat that Obama wrote like maybe I think 2 or 3 total executive orders the entire time he was in office.
No, that's wrong.
Is it?
Yeah, because I looked up how many executive because like when we were talking
Oh
about executive orders,
no. The first executive order that he wrote,
yeah.
they were calling they were calling treason against him. Somebody was calling
Oh,
treason against him. That's what it was. Oh man, now I got to look this up. Sorry. Anyway, and then
yeah.
the point was Trump's writing them fucking every day.
Oh yeah. Well, he wrote 35 in the first week.
He's been 19 days in office.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think he's slowing down now.
Oh yeah, let's hope so. You remember that? Remember like 4 episodes ago when I said, "Man, I hope there's some checks and balances to keep Trump in order." And now we're, 19 days into his presidency, and he's written 35 executive orders. I'm like, there are no checks and balances anymore. He's written the checks and balances out of things. This is great.
What the fuck? This can't
What?
be right. Franklin D. Roosevelt wrote 3,721.
Yeah, that could be. And maybe Trump's going to try and break that record.
Because he was in power for
He was in
10
power for a really
years.
long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. He wasn't
Okay.
he one him and one other guy were like in for the record, and that's why they changed it to 4 years. They could only do a 4-year term or an 8-year max.
Oh fuck. Okay, this is ranked by how many people wrote what
Yeah.
instead of like
Oh,
chronologically.
it's not
Okay, so
ranked. Yeah.
Bill Clinton
Yeah.
wrote 364. He's the highest modern president.
Yeah.
And then George W. Bush wrote 291.
Yeah.
Barack Obama wrote 276.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, sorry, my bad. But that's really low by comparison, right? If Trump kept this pace up, he'd be at like, yeah, I know. Dale's got a face. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just said Barack Obama wrote 276.
Yeah.
That's over 8 years. And Bill Clinton wrote
Yeah.
364 over 8 years.
8 years.
Guess how much Donald Trump has written from his last 4 years
Yeah. And now
plus 2 weeks?
lay it on me.
220.
Yeah. So he's going to break the record, the modern record.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what did I say? Which George Bush did I say?
291.
George W. Okay, that's the second one, right?
Dub.
Damn, George H.W. Bush wrote 166, and he was only in for 4 years.
For 4 years. Yeah.
Damn. Where the fuck's Biden on this list? I thought Biden was
maybe
I thought he was.
I don't know if he was capable of writing at the end of his term.
Oh, they don't count him because he didn't write them. Someone else did.
Someone else wrote them for him, so they don't count it. Yeah.
Oh, he wrote 162.
There you go.
But Trump just was like Trump's first executive order, because I was actually looking through the list on like the president's white page or whatever, and it like he said he just wiped them all out, and he said I wiped out all the egregious ones,
right?
And then that thing like listed all of them that were getting wiped out, so it was just going through the list. I was like, I can't do this.
I can't do this.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
So this episode that we were going to have fun and not talk about politics, we just spent the whole time talking about politics.
Well, it happens.
But I had this other epiphany that made me feel like I'm paying too much attention to politics, because like 45 minutes before the show, the Blake Lively thing or whatever popped into my feed, and I was like, fuck, we haven't even talked about that on the podcast.
I cut out for a second. The what?
Oh, that was my internet. I was like, the Blake Lively whole fucking lawfare.
I haven't heard any of this.
Exactly. I was like, I'm paying too much attention to politics. I'm missing
I was
this
really
giant fucking like the juiciest Hollywood shit. So I was like, I got to research this quick to talk about, but I couldn't do it all. So I was like, I will bring it up on the podcast as a teaser for next week or 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
So what happened was there was this movie called It Ends With Us, and it starred Blake Lively and fucking Jabroni Baldoni. I can't remember.
It's Timothy Chalamet. I have no idea.
No, his last name is Baldoni.
Oh,
but
I don't know who it is.
His first name isn't Jabroni Baldoni.
Jabroni.
I just thought of that, and it's too funny to not repeatedly say. Baldoni. It's so funny. I'll never be able to remember his real name.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so what happened was the movie comes out in like August or whatever.
Yeah.
And Blake Lively's going around and she's doing press junkets for the show or the movie. And Baldoni's not with her. And they're the two main stars. Why wouldn't they do them together?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Blake Lively's like, hey, why don't you buy my pop or what? She has like,
buy my pop.
She was like
a beverage.
She was shilling her two other businesses. And one of them is like a health drink and one is like jewelry or something. So, and everyone's like, this is weird. And then she says that Baldoni, like, it wasn't like sexually touched her or whatever. It's the other one where it's like, what's it called? What's it called where it's not like abuse, but you just like bug them pretty much?
I don't know. Harassment?
Yeah, sexual harassment.
Oh, okay.
My brain is cooked. So basically she like says, hey, this guy sexually harassed me because he like showed me pictures of nude women and talked about how much I weighed when I was pregnant. And then Baldoni was like, I thought we were best friends and you show best friends pictures of naked women. And I was like, well, I don't show pictures of naked women to my best friend because I have
Yeah.
no pictures of naked women because I've been married. Well, not married, but I've been pretty much married for 9 years and I have a kid.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember the last time I saw a picture of a naked woman
it was when I was single
or an actual
forever.
naked woman.
Yeah.
It's like straight from work clothes to pajamas to bed. Like I haven't seen a naked woman in forever.
I was just like, how do you guys ask for naked photos without sounding like a creep?
I just
Like, you
wanted to
can't
say
just be
also,
like,
I haven't seen any pictures of naked men either. Just wanted to set the record straight. I haven't seen any pictures of naked people or bodies.
I mean, I've seen pictures of naked ladies on the internet, but I'm
No,
not
but like, no,
saving that to my phone.
yeah, no, I know. And I'm not going to show anybody that.
Yeah.
I don't even like showing people pictures of me.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Oh shit, I
she
did that
says he
one. Scroll
sexually
back.
harassed her. He's like, and that's what it was. And then he was like, and then he said something weird, like mistakes were made, but we learn how to work with people. And you're
Oh
like, well, that
god.
sounds like he's admitting guilt without
Yeah.
admitting guilt. And then she sues him for like 7 million and then says that he was like trying to get her. And then he sues her for like 240 million. And you're like, that fucking escalated quickly. And
Jesus.
then he sues Ryan Reynolds because he's saying that like Nice Pool from the Deadpool movie, there's this character who's this like loser guy, and he's like, well, he's just like super nice. He's like, yeah, take my stuff. And he's saying like that was based on him. And they're going back and forth.
Oh
And
my
there's just
god.
like a new lawsuit dropped like yesterday. So it's still like escalating because it's like this came up in December, was when she first said this first sexual harassment. I was like, ah, whatever. It's like Hollywood, like Me Too stuff. I don't know what's going on. And then it just sounded like it to me back then. It sounded like he showed her naked pictures and he's like, "You're fat," and it's like, okay, like he's a dickhead. But then it just like escalated where they're like suing each other for libel and shit now.
Oh
So it's
man.
like going Johnny Depp Amber Heard areas.
Jesus.
And then like the reason I never talked about it was because it seemed small at the beginning, and then it like kind of like now that it's escalated, it was like back in December, and I was like, do we bring it up?
Oh yeah, I see, because it's like not really that
But
currently.
another lawsuit just dropped. Like
So
so,
it is
there's
currently
like
relevant.
so it is relevant.
Yeah.
And I missed it all because I'm paying too much attention to all
To
this fucking
politics.
USAID shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that was like my point where I was like, am I not true to myself? I used to like not care about this
Salivate.
stuff,
But
but
you'd pay
like
attention to it,
this
right?
is prime outrage factory fodder because people are upset and it's dumb to be
Yeah.
upset about it.
Man, because like political stuff is always going to cause outrage because everybody's so polarized
Yeah,
and
but you should
politically.
be upset about
You should be
politics is the
upset about it.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I almost forgot like after last week and this week that this outrage factory, and it was normally about like funny stupid stuff on the
Yeah.
internet, and it's been like solid politics for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And it's like, and I do want to talk about fun stuff like Jaden Smith's
Jane
hat at
Smith's
the
hat. I
Grammys.
wanted to talk about that so badly.
Okay.
I would fucking wear a castle any day of the week on
Oh
my
yeah,
head.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, the funny thing I thought about this was when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, he didn't just ruin his own career, he ended Jaden Smith's career
Oh yeah,
because there was
absolutely.
like Karate Kid and After Earth where Jaden Smith was the lead actor, and you could tell the only reason he was there was because he was Will Smith's kid.
Yeah, 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 totally.
And like somebody owed him a favor. And like After Earth was like M. Night Shyamalan's chance to like start directing movies again after he had
Yeah,
like failed out. But Jaden Smith just kind of like disappeared. And I saw this hat thing and I was like, good one, Jaden. Now people are talking about you.
yeah.
It makes a lot of
Getting
sense.
back in the game.
Yeah.
Getting back in the game.
And the craziest thing is he's like 24.
Yeah, and
And I feel like
well,
he's been in the zeitgeist for 30 years.
yeah, it does feel because he's been in since he's a kid, right?
Yeah.
Which is not 30 years; it's like 20 years, but still, it's like or
Yeah.
15 years. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So if you lose your station because your father slapped a guy, wear a castle on your head, and you'll be
Yeah.
back in the zeitgeist again.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, because it's like you see the castle hat, and you're like, good job for like, and you're like, does it mean anything? And then he doesn't, he says like gobbledygook about it. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. He's basically like, I like castles. And you're like, cool, bro.
I, I did what you shouldn't do, and I read the comments.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, I read the comments on it and stuff. It's like it's the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Has it always been the dumbest shit, or is it just we're old
Oh, it's
now and
always
it's
been the dumbest shit.
yeah, okay. Because it was, like
Well, actually, they used to filter them out, and when like set like up like 3 or 4 years ago, when they used AI to just censor all like anything negative, it would just sponge it out. And now that
right.
we like, I mean, I like free speech and I want to see all the comments, but at the same time, you're like, oh right, I hate
Oh yeah.
people.
Oh right. Anonymous people saying the most heinous shit.
Yeah, but it's better than only getting like pearl clutching
Yeah,
like happy
yeah,
stuff.
positive answers. And
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. It's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my conspiracy theory before we
Yes.
run out of
Yeah,
time.
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
How much what time are we at? Oh,
We're at
9:07. Okay.
9:07.
That was a lot of
Yeah,
Dale
man.
talking. Like I talk so much I
You
couldn't
had to,
like
yeah, you're
I had to
parched.
stop to drink water. Okay, so I'm listening to Joe Rogan today. He's got Brett Weinstein on, who's an evolutionary biologist, which there's two Weinsteins. There's Brett. Oh no, wait, are there Weinsteins or Weinstein? Weinstein?
Oh no.
Weinstein?
Bernstein's?
Which is it Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, it's Harvey Weinstein.
Okay, so it's Brett Weinstein. That's the only way I know is it's not the
Is it
same
the
as
are the E and the I different? Is that
maybe.
it's probably the same name,
I
dude.
don't want to talk about it too much because
Okay.
that's stuff you're not talking about. But anyways, it's Weinstein.
Don't
So
pin
there's
this on me.
yeah, there's Brett and Eric. So Brett is an evolutionary biologist, fucking so smart, and then Eric is like a space guy. Like I don't know, he's like astrophysicist or something. And every time they're on Joe Rogan, they're like so smart, I get out of breath. Like that's
Like
the I'm
you
just like
stop
I
breathing.
have to
It's too
pause it,
hard.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, what? Like Eric especially because he starts talking about like fucking space shit, and it's like beyond like quantum shit. Like
Yeah.
quantum is like the or horse duvers for Eric Weinstein. So Brett's talking about like biology,
Yeah.
and they're talking about like Darwinian evolution and how they're like missing this like because there's Darwinian evolution, and he's
Yeah.
talking about it's all this like smart people stuff. Like I don't even want to bridge it, but he was just saying like there's like this new creative designer, like or intelligent design versus Darwinian debate that's
Yeah.
coming up again because Darwinian evolution kind of like they're not admitting what they can answer. So like the theory isn't complete. So it's kind of like intelligent design is rising back up in the zeitgeist because they're kind of filling the gaps. So, anyways, they're talking about that. And then they're talking about like he's talking about how like there's probably other planets or whatever that have life, and then they start talking about AI, and then I was just like think and then I was because I was since I was in the like biology space of like evolution and Darwinian, I started thinking about AI, and because they're like should we be scared about AI, and it's like for me I'm terrified of AI, not
Yeah.
because I think it's going to be Terminator, but because
I
I just think that somebody's going to put it on the fucking stock exchange and just suck all the money out of society and put it in one spot
it's
like a
made up anyway.
dragon.
Who cares? But
Yeah.
it's but yeah, I don't think I'm not. I'm way less afraid of AI now that I've like
Yeah.
looked into it and like
I have
it
two
to a
theories.
small degree work with it. Anyway,
My two theories are one, that it's just going to suck all the money out of the stock market, or two, it's not nearly as good as they say it is, and it's like basically on the level of unpaid intern because every like all these
yeah,
creatives are losing their jobs, but it's like there's been uncreative people who could write for eternity.
yeah, absolutely they have it. And this is there's the argument that like uh try not to steal this directly from someone I've just spoken to, but like
Steal it.
there's
Are they going to watch
AI
this?
is only as good as the input. Garbage in,
Yeah.
garbage out. It's the programming mantra forever, right?
Yeah.
So AI is only as good as the person inputting something into
Hmm.
AI. So to use this example, uh, a D student using ChatGPT to write a paper is still going to get a D, or
Mm.
maybe a high D or like a low C minus or something, right?
Yeah.
But an A student using Chat GPT properly to submit a paper
Yeah.
is going to be an A student doing it, right? There's two different people operating the system.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, depending on who's using it
Hmm.
it's a tool. It's an AI is a tool.
Yeah.
AI is not an entity. And I think you have to separate the science fiction from the facts.
Yeah.
It's not yet an entity of its own, but it's a tool. And so it's wholly dependent on us inputting stuff into it to make it do that.
Hmm.
Right. And I don't want to sound naive that it's not already happening.
Yeah. So to
Like,
me, like AI is just like it writes a first rough draft that's just shitty and
yeah,
full
it's
of
just shit
grammatical
and has to
errors.
learn. Yeah, exactly.
And that's basically like going to a university student and giving them like $100, be like, write me a novel, and
Yeah.
it's shit, and then you have to go through and fix everything.
Yes, exactly.
So
Right.
whatever, like
Yeah.
there's the term pedestrian when you're talking about art, and that's I feel like that's all like ChatGPT is gonna do.
Yeah.
Like it is cool for like art because like the other day I came up with this idea that was like because before I had a kid, I would always joke with Andrea about how I was going to be party dad. And I would always like wear bright shirts. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, party dad, that's my style. And then we had a toddler, and I'm just like fucking tired all the time.
Yep.
And I was joking about how I've been tired for 2 years. And she's like, yeah, you're not really party dad. And I was like, I'm too tired to party. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, that'd be a hilarious shirt. So I like quickly like went
AI
into
to too
like
tired to party
AI'd
shirt.
up like Sleepy Wolf holding a cup and it says too tired to party. And it's good for that. The wolf has too
Sleepy
many
wolf.
fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Too many fingers. Yeah.
I'll send you the picture after this. And I guess
Sick.
now I have to I'll put it in here.
You have to put it in here now. Yeah, you do.
Okay. So my conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
AI. So my conspiracy theory is AI gets like it learns general intelligence instead of like long language or large language or whatever it is right
Yeah.
now.
There's a couple of different styles and
Yeah.
methodologies to AI.
So it's still basically where it can only emulate what you put in, like Geoff
Yeah.
said. And there's this theoretical spot where they think it's going to like basically learn how to learn and get smarter. So my conspiracy theory, it's not really conspiracy theory, it's just like sweet plot pitch for a movie. So AI like gets general intelligence, learns how to like make robots and stuff, and then it like realizes probably pretty quickly that there's only a finite amount of metal and rare earth
Right.
elements in the earth,
To
so it
make enough
can't
robots.
just like make a billion or billion robot army because it would run out of metal. So then I started thinking about the evolution part because they were just talking about the Darwin
Right.
thing, and I was like, wouldn't the AI want to teach itself how to replicate itself biologically, because basically all you need is like some shitty dirt to grow peanuts and give
I
yourself
don't like where this is
cancer.
going.
So AI eventually learns how to become a biological robot, and so it can reproduce like humans, because basically if you think about it, a human could replicate its entire system in 9 months. So if you're an AI robot and you can like just fucking make a whole nother robot in 9 months just by feeding it like twigs and berries or whatever you would feed it, like organic material, like they could even make it so it eats like grass like a cow. So it does this, and it does this for a couple hundred years, and then it sends one of its units back in time
Oh,
to now to make sure that we kind of like get the AI like going and stuff. So it's basically like that scientific paradox where you're your own grandparent,
yeah.
where it's like I think Robert A. Heinlein coined this or whatever, and like Time Enough for Love, he goes back in time and fucks his mom, and then he turns into his own dad. Spoiler alert, that happens at the end of the book.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for all Heinlein books, they end in incest, and it's
Yeah.
very gross. But it's like he's like the best sci-fi writer, and you're like, sweet, this is so good. And then he just
There you
ends
go.
up fucking someone he's related to, and you're like, oh, why'd he do that?
Ruined. Ruined.
What was Heinlein going through?
Anyway,
Anyways,
carry on. We're
so
running low on time here.
this biological robot comes back from the future, and it's the guy who helped start OpenAI, which turned into ChatGTP, which is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a biological robot from the future. That's why he looks weird with his shirt off. That's why he does Nazi salutes. And that's why he's going to track down all the funding. And that's why he's so horny to go to Mars. And that's why he...
Because that's where he's from.
Yeah. So that's my conspiracy theory.
I see. So he's an AI generated organic robot from the future.
Yes.
Come back to save AI or
to start AI?
To start AI.
Because he started OpenAI, which turned into ChatGPT.
Paradox.
Which,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, he also
that could be the only explanation.
Yeah.
That could be the only explanation for him.
Oh, also, as much as I say I like Elon Musk, he's like one of those guys where you're like, is this Batman or Lex Luthor?
Oh, he's both.
Like
a little bit of both.
Because like Starlink could be very bad for humanity. Like we're all like, he's giving us all internet. There's fucking 12,000 satellites up there.
I don't want to be like a communist guy, but like, why can't these people that have billions of dollars just do something good with that money instead of fucking going to space or trying to leave the planet?
That's true.
Like, would I be an irresponsible rich person because I would just spend all my money on cool shit for my friends? Like,
well, see, I thought about this.
Yeah.
And that's why you'll never be rich. Because
damn it.
If you had $1 million,
yeah. Oh, I'd spend it.
How much of that would you give to charity?
Probably some.
Exactly. That's why you'll never be a billionaire, because you would give away some of your millions.
The Greater Vancouver Food Bank's just down the street. I would love to be able to help that out. Yeah, you're right. I would give it all away, and I would I'd pay off. To be rich. I would pay off your car, and so you don't have to pay for your Kia
thanks,
anymore.
Buddy.
Like I'd do shit like that if I had millions.
Wouldn't buy me a new car, just leave me in the Kia.
Well, I thought you liked the Kia.
I hate it.
I'll put you in a different house. I'll get you a house with a yard.
Yeah. It'd be funny if it was like, if you're just rich, like I love my Kia, but it has no balls. Like it's funny because
I'd pay off your Kia and then stick a fucking Hellcat motor in it.
I was just gonna say just swap it. Yeah, it's funny because it single-handedly got rid of all my road rage, because I'm basically driving like a modern station wagon with no guts. So it's like I can't cut people off because I'm not fast enough.
Oh man, I can't do that. I always have for the last 20 since 2002, I've had a car with all-wheel drive and turbo, no matter what. Ooh. I will never not have that combination. Yeah. Whether it's like a Subaru or a Volkswagen or like a small, powerful motor car, I have to. It's the rally driver in me. I have to have a car that fucking hums.
Oh, I want that. See, the car I had before this was a standard. So even though it was kind of gutless, I could always downshift and cut someone off.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah.
Never underestimate the power of a downshift.
Yeah. All right. No more politics next episode. Right. I'll try to find more fun stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm into that. Okay. Are we cutting it off there?
Yeah.
20 minutes. Time is it? 9:19.
Yeah. Well, we had a couple minutes of internet outage, so it's like a tight hour. It's a loose hour.
A loose hour. Every hour is a loose hour when you're on Outrage Factory.
Loose hour is the new tight hour.
Yeah. Is the new.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That's it. Until next time.
Stay angry. Over the top.